Hi everybody. I had something pointed out to me recently at Indoor Aviation that I kind of knew, but I hadn't really connected the dots. Talking to the wealth of knowledge in my Indoor Aviation club, he pointed out that the MC1104 brushless motor that I have on my Foamy 2 conversion with the pop-up motor wouldn't have enough thrust on 1S because it was only a 4300 kV rating. kV rating is a motor's unloaded RPM per volt applied. Higher kV means higher top speed but less torque. A lower kV means more torque but less top speed, like a low gear in a car. So my plane was stuck in first gear. The font of all knowledge, who shall remain nameless, Andrew, recommended the tiny 1002 brushless motor for the 25mm triple bladed prop with a 10,000 kV rating. This would give enough revs on 1S to give enough thrust to keep this plane in the air. So I ordered one to try this out. Actually, it turned out it was an RS1102 with a 10,000 kV rating, practically the same. When I did my first electric conversion of this Foamy 2, I used the MC1104 motor with a 4300 kV. This didn't keep it in the air, see my previous video. Converting it to 2S effectively doubled the revs, and that gave it enough thrust. But I'm always keen to get as much as possible out of 1S as I can, especially for indoor aviation. For example, my Canberra bomber with twin 30mm EDFs running on 1S. When the new motor arrived, I installed it on the plane and converted the electronics back to 1S. I was really keen to see how it would perform indoors. The plane came in 5 grams lighter at 95 grams with the smaller motor. With the lighter battery for 1S, I had severe CG problems and also my elevator trim was way out. So I added a little bit of ballast to the nose. Slightly better. Needed to sort the CG out. Oh, that's not too great. Warning, incoming torpedo right between my feet.
Well done, Dave.
You're just trying to distract me. Distractions aside, after getting the CG right, it flew much better. Oh, that's better. Now I've got the trim sorted. Whoa! There's a lot of planes in the air. Just trying to get some height. That's gliding. Well, how did it go indoors? I initially had centre of gravity issues because when I converted it to 1S, the 300 mAh 1S battery was half the weight of the 2S battery. That was 10 grams lighter. Once I put some ballast in the nose, it performed okay, and there was plenty of thrust for indoor flying on 1S. I also like to fly the Foamy 2 outdoors, and especially slope saw it if there's a gentle slope and a light breeze. So I took it to the park one calm morning to see how it would perform outdoors. Yes, that trim's a bit better. Clapping. Battery's running out. Yeah, anyway. Well, how did the little ladder go in the park? Just having a rest on my way home, sitting on the park bench by the river, enjoying the morning sun and listening to the birds tweeting. So it's now converted to 1S, and I had some initial problems when I flew indoors with centre of gravity, and that's because the battery I was using, the 1S battery, was about half the weight of the 3S battery. So once they sorted out, it flew a lot better. I've got about 10 grams ballast in the nose now, plus a little 300 mAh battery, and I also tested it on a 500 mAh battery and it still flew okay. That'd be good for when I'm slope soaring, gives a bit of extra weight and wind penetration and stability. So overall I'm pretty pleased with how the little foam emitter conversion's gone. It seems to have adequate power to fly outdoors as well as indoors on 1S, so I think I'll keep it that way for now. It would be quite handy to have 2S to make it zoom up and get height really quickly then glide down, but I think 1S is probably better for it for now. Let's get home and get some breakfast. Centre of gravity. I don't like having dead weight in my models if at all possible, so I was thinking, how can I move the centre of gravity forward? Well, this is quite a strong model, so I shaved off quite a bit of foam, starting from the centre of gravity right back to the tail, and this has enabled me to remove a little bit of the ballast that's in there. I'm a little disappointed with the glide path of this little foamy, even though the motor retracts when I turn off the power. Options are to recess the servos and the control rods a bit more, possibly increase the wing area, and failing that, talk to the font of knowledge in the club. What's coming up? Well, I've since ordered 4 more RS1102 brushless motors, and this is for a project that I'm planning for the future, for an indoor plane, a short takeoff and landing style aircraft, which will have 4 motors on the wings. I think these motors will be ideal for this, and I should be able to do it on 1S as well. I've also bought some 45mm triple bladed propellers to see how they go on these 2 brushless motors. This is intended for the Mosquito project. Initial flight tests of the prototype Mosquito are coming along really well, and I'm now updating the design from the lessons learnt from my flight tests. I think this is going to be a great little plane, and I can't wait to complete the Mark 1 version of it. Well, that's it for now. If you'd like to follow my progress and all my projects that are happening at the moment, consider subscribing to DavesFunRC, and then I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.